All right, there we go. All right. So you didn't get into Rittenhouse.
Nah, I'm not surprised. I think we're
They
gonna. I think we're
during
gonna have to
similar,
shoot.
sorry.
What'd you say, Allison?
No, I was going to ask, Mariah, this is Deb. If you, when you apply to Rittenhouse, do they give you any kind of scoring like they do with Cherry Creek or not at all?
No, nothing. I could
Great.
probably request a score, but we requested a score from Ann Arbor, the original show, and we had three jurors that gave us a 5, 5, and a 6, and one juror gave us a 2.
Ah,
And because of that 2, it bumped us out of the completely out of, I mean, wait list or whatever. I don't know. It was really, really disappointing. But I'm thinking a juror gave 2? Really?
It happens.
Yeah, it does. Oh, well.
did you have a backup show for the Rittenhouse weekend?
No,
Yeah, that's what
no.
I'm learning. It's like I think I would get in, but I don't, and then I don't have a backup show. So
Yeah. Although we are applying to the Bruce, that application should be dropping any day now. And then there's Bluffton, South Carolina's got a show that that's an October show also. Um, we're in St. James Court, so we're going back. This will be our 5th year. That's been a really good show for Marianne. And the first 2 years was nothing. Well, no, the first year she won the Founders Award, um, which was $5,000. Like, wow.
wow.
And the second year she sold a $125 print, and then the third year finally took off, and so it was a good show that third and fourth year. So we're going back again. We're going to Tefra in a month, and then Memorial Day weekend for 15 days. Marianne will be at the Piccolo Spoleto outdoor exhibition. That's a 16-day outdoor show.
Where's
Good
that
news,
one?
it's in Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so she gets to go home every night, sleep in her own bed. I go
That
down in
makes
the mo- I go down in the morning, and I set up. So I set up a canopy in the back of her tent. I use a tarp, and and then when I get off work, I'll help her shut down, and then I'm down there on Saturday and Sunday with her.
That's great. It's near home. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, that this will be her third year,
Uh,
and that has been an exceptionally uh, good show for her.
That's
She
great.
does.
And you don't have to
She
pay for, I mean, to pay for lodging for all those days alone,
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Um, and she does palmettos that are really kind of an abstract palmetto, and those are just they're huge. They sell huge. Yeah, and
well, it's always best to stay home when you can.
heck yeah, we tried to get into Artisphere, which is in Greenville. That's only 4 hours away. We have some friends up in Greenville. They said, "Hey, you can stay with us. We'll go to the show." I said, "Like, great." We didn't get in.
Yeah. I'm doing that. I've never done it before.
It's supposed to be a really good show.
That's
Um,
what I hear.
folks like um, Will Armstrong and Doug Stigworth, they're doing it this year.
Hmm.
Will usually does it. Will usually does it every year, and but yeah, that's and it's
Yeah,
funny
I
because Uh, we had a couple who came down from Greenville. They have a house in Hilton Head. They bought, no, I'm sorry, Seabrook. So they took this house and they renovated it. They probably spent $1 million plus to renovate it.
Hmm.
And they said that their home in Greenville is full of abstract art, but they needed to fill their Seabrook Island home, and so they bought two palmettos from Marianne. That was the first that was 2 years ago. So
Where's
that
Seabrook Island?
so Seabrook Island is south of Charleston, and
Okay.
so when you're going down Highway 17, you take a left going to Johns Island. You go through Johns Island going towards Kiowa. Kiowa is to the left. Seabrook is to the right. So it's
Mhm.
on the barrier island. It's a
Okay.
real, very, very high end
Mhm.
um, community. Both Kiowa
Uh-huh.
and Seabrook.
And
Um,
is it in North Carolina or South Carolina that
South
Seabrook?
Carolina. Yeah, these are
Uh-huh.
all South Carolina. Yeah,
Yeah, I got it. Got it. Yeah, no, I hear that it's a very busy show, and I'm not doing that many shows, so kind of working like crazy to, I don't have to have everything out, but I just want to have a lot of options for people.
I have a lot of inventory. Absolutely, because
Yeah.
it is a 3 day show.
Mhm.
The weather should be perfect. Um,
Okay.
it's it's um, it's a very um, it's one of the fastest growing cities in South Carolina,
But that's
and
what I
so
understand. And is it like I mean, there's a lot of building. A friend of mine who she lives there and has a jewelry store. Um, and she said there's tons of huge high-end houses being built, that kind of thing.
absolutely, usually 10 foot ceilings, um, 400,000 square foot homes. Yeah,
I wonder who's moving there, like if it's Northerners. Hmm.
I don't know, but it's like here in Charleston, Google. Um, so we have Google, Volvo. We have well, see, BMW is up in Greenville, and
Okay.
they make BMWs, and then they put them on rail cars, and the rail cars come to Charleston's port, and then they're shipped overseas. Um, we have I'm trying to think who else we got. We got Nucor Steel. We got Boeing. Boeing is expanding,
Hmm.
and they're Boeing is right by the Charleston International Airport, and they are
Hmm.
expanding with another 400 jobs, something like that. And
Uh-huh.
so, and it's funny because Charleston used to be a great little city
Hmm.
until it started to get onto the um, so so when I got here in '85, I met
Hmm.
Marianne in '85. I got married in '86. Charleston was a nothing city, and it
Hmm.
was and Joe Riley was the mayor at the time, and he had the vision for Charleston, and he made Charleston into the number one destination city for like a decade.
Uh-huh.
It was always in Conti Nast, and Southern
Hmm.
Living, and so. But now, of course, you've got people moving into Charleston because, like one of my male customers, they used to live in Queens, and
Hmm.
they sold their house for $2 million,
Oh.
a little 1,500 square foot home, and then they bought an $800,000 4,500 square foot home in Mount Pleasant. Now there's no
Hmm.
yard. I mean, it's probably on maybe a third of an acre. I don't even
Hmm.
think it's that much. They're pretty much stacked up side by side, and
Uh-huh.
so I mean, a lot of folks will come down here that have made a killing on their northern homes, and then they come down here and ruin it.
But that's what I wonder about Greenville also, if it's Northerners. It's not that far from Asheville, it looks like on the map.
That's correct.
And that's already, grown out. And and these towns, they don't really have a huge infrastructure.
See, that's like
I mean,
Charleston. We don't have
yeah,
we don't have Yeah, we don't have the infrastructure for all of these people.
Right. I
So,
mean,
so
look,
go
Santa
ahead.
Fe is a town of 85,000 people. And, it was, a city from the 1600s. So there's the layout for it. But, housing also is it's just like, any of those other places, it's expensive and people who lived there for generations can't afford it. And I mean, we just need to build more housing, really. But it's true, the infrastructure also, it's like, well, what do you do with that? So,
Yeah, yep. And see the problem with Charleston because okay, so Mount Pleasant is where I deliver mail. Mount Pleasant is literally 10 minutes outside of Charleston, going
okay.
north on Highway 17.
Uh-huh.
And if you look at Charleston at an aerial view, it almost looks like the island of Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're looking at Charleston, so um, if you think of Manhattan,
Yeah.
Mount Pleasant is to the north. Um, you got West Ashley is to the where am I going? Where am I going? Northwest. Um, then you go south, and then southeast is going to be Kiowa, Seabrook, and Johns Island. Um, but I mean Mount Pleasant. When I started delivering mail, I think might have been 10, 12,000 people.
Uh-huh. And now?
It's now 90,000 people.
Oh, geez. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no additional roads.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and, and and it's funny because the art community here, um, it's a lot of um, there's some great fine art and fine artists, but a lot of them will do the coastal flair. They'll
Mm-hmm.
do they'll do they'll do marsh scenes and beach scenes and
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. And Marianne does abstract, and
Mm-hmm.
so abstract is it's a real different beast. And so um, she'll sell maybe one, maybe she'll definitely sell one, but maybe two um, real abstract pieces. But for the most part, she's been doing these abstract palmettos and abstract uh, coastlines and stuff like that. Very, very abstract. And those go over really well. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
these artists here, they're, I mean, they are just amazing with oils and pastels
Mm-hmm.
and acrylics and they do big art. I mean, they're doing 3x4s.
Uh-huh.
And so,
Oh.
I mean, it's,
I was just looking on a map and you said Mount Pleasant grew from 12,000 to 95,000 and it's really kind of not exactly a peninsula, but um, it doesn't it looks like it's finite given all the water around it.
it really is. Yep. We're surrounded by water and, we've I think the biggest problem with Charleston is the port. The trucks here are, I mean, we are like the number three port on the East Coast. I think
Hmm.
New York, I think it's New York or Brooklyn. Um,
I think it's Newark actually.
it might be
Is
Newark.
for the
New,
tri-state area because I was just
yeah,
looking up Newark since it was mentioned in the
that's it.
NAIA podcast, and a much cooler town than some. If you go through Newark Airport, you're not in. It's you don't really know Newark. So anyway,
Yeah, Newark, New
I
Jersey.
digress.
Yeah.
Yes.
But so this is our so we're going on our fifth year doing shows, and so it's I've got 8 months. Uh, Today is 8 months, 9 days to retire. But who's
Wow.
counting?
Well, just in the nick of time, also,
Yeah, but
unfortunately, but
but it's fun, and I really this is kind of like my dream. Where Marianne is kind enough to let me live my dream of 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 doing these art shows because I love her work. She's super talented. She's Um, she taught for 25 years, and I thought, you know what? Time to go do some fun stuff. So we just bought a trailer, which I'm really happy. I'm outfitting it out, so I'm happy about that. And yeah, we'll see what the Lord does over the next year. It's funny because I always told Marianne, excuse me, that if Lord wills and we live and we get to do these art shows for a while, I would love to do that Colorado circuit where you do like 4 shows in like 6 weeks or something. And
So I never know how like any of those shows are. There's a ton of shows in the Rocky Mountains, and
right,
I just I don't. I mean, it's pretty close to me, but I just yeah I don't get really a sense of you know of how the shows are in the first place, and I guess really the thing to do for me is to visit them. But yeah, there are a lot of
Careful. Some of
shows,
those are
and
Howard Allen shows.
right,
okay.
yep. But and Court, maybe you could speak to this, but or anybody, whoever wants to chime in. But I always heard that Vale's got a good show. Um,
But,
uh,
wait, but when you hear it's good, but what, it's like, okay, then what are the details, right? I mean, um,
and
you
well, and
know,
I yeah, and now when we used to do the art source book
yeah.
again, this is going back 4 years ago because we only did art source book for the first year.
Hmm.
Um, and some of the reviews on those shows were positive for abstract artists.
Uh-huh.
And but again, that's 4 years ago. You got to take into consideration the economy and all of that jazz. And
Mhm.
so, yeah,
But also, I mean, the best thing to do is just go to the website, and I know there's uh what is the name of it? It starts with a D. There's an organization that runs some of those. There's one in Denver called Cheeseman Park. But anyway,
Yeah, I'm going to that one in July this year. I
oh,
can report
oh,
back to you.
oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
oh, great,
I actually was when I was at Bayou City, my van was parked right in front of a guy that does Cheeseman every year. And he said
Uh-huh.
it was really fantastic because he said the park is nestled right into an area where there's a lot of larger, older homes.
Oh,
And then they also,
it's right next to Cherry Creek.
right. And then they
Yeah.
also have some really nice, newer built, you know, apartment and condo communities. So he said it's
Tons.
really easier. It's
I
really
mean,
easier to get into and it's easier to sell than Cherry Creek. He said,
well, selling at Cherry Creek is very easy because they have a lot of
well,
people who
he's
come to the show.
right. And
So
he
getting
said
you,
getting in is the tough part. That's what he was saying. It wasn't the
uh,
selling part so much as, he always applies for both.
mhm,
And he's gotten into Cherry Creek like 2 or 3 times, and
mhm.
he almost always gets into Chessman. But then there's one down in, I want to say your neck of the woods near Albuquerque that
The
same
Rio
weekend.
Grande, the Rio Grande Arts Festival is if it's that one, it's several
No,
times a year.
it had a shorter name than that.
Oh,
I just saw it and it was the same last weekend in July. And I was going to ask
oh.
if anybody had been there. I'm going to have to
Well,
see if I can.
I don't know what that one is. I know the Rio Grande Arts Festival is, I think there's spring and then maybe spring meaning March and I think December. And I
Yeah,
did visit it.
I did apply to the Rio Grande and I find out tomorrow if I got
Mhm.
in for the October one. We'll
It's
see.
indoors, so that's a luxury. But
No. And you can do it 2 weekends in a row if you want to find
okay.
housing for a week.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So but yeah,
But
but looking at the website of any show and looking in your medium, I mean that's where, I look, jewelry. I mean I've got some 2D friends who did the Cheeseman Park one last year, and they said, yeah, it's definitely something, to like uh they were happy with it.
yeah. But it's funny because Marianne and me too, we'll look at some of these art shows, go to their website and look at the category under painting and look at some of these abstract artists. And it's like, Marianne is schooled and was taught, um, um, uh, see, I don't know.
How do you
I don't,
say it in a politically correct way? Is that what you're thinking?
no, I
Oh,
don't know anything about art, but Marianne will look at someone's artwork and
Mhm.
she can tell that all they did was throw up on the canvas. There's no place for your eye to rest. There's
Mhm.
no value. There's no um, structure to it. There's no and it's like
Well,
there's this one guy who
apparently,
got it. This one guy, he
yeah.
got into an Illinois show, and all his paintings said was the F word. F F F F
Uh,
F F F F F F F. And then
uh,
another one of his paintings was blah 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 blah. And
uh-huh.
that guy got into the show that we were number one waitlisted on it and never got called in. And
Right. But
it's
you know
like,
what? But that
and it,
happens
and
with
and
every
it
show.
exactly,
I-
it's so subjective.
It is.
That's why you know at Rittenhouse, one of the jurors gave us a two. And it's like, well, we're just going to keep pressing on and plugging away. You know, and the other thing, of course, is because I still work full time. Um, we can't do Cherry Creek or Des Moines or Kansas City and Milwaukee. I mean, it's just, we're looking at least a minimum of a 4-day drive, two up, two back,
Right.
set up, breakdown, 3-day show. I'm burning 10 days vacation, 9 days vacation or something, or
Right.
seven days because I get the weekends off.
Well, when
And
you're done, when you retire, then you'll have time. I
right,
mean,
see,
the
exactly.
Midwest is in general, very nice markets.
Yep. Court has told me that it's a nice market.
Yeah. But anyway, with some of these other shows, um, so jewelry is a funny thing because people don't look at it as art. And my work is
Same with
not something
photography.
still.
And photography, and which is sad, really is sad.
yeah,
So,
sorry to interrupt again, but I
well,
just heard a broadcast on the Rittenhouse show that they were saying we're attracting fine artists, which does not include jewelry and photography. And I thought, that's really bold to
It
say
is
that.
Wow.
It's
one
always
of
been
the
that way.
it's one of the few one of a kind shows that concentrate specifically on fine art. They do two shows.
now
September
Yep.
I don't
and
have an
June.
issue. I don't have an issue that they don't have jewelry or other crafts. It's a 2D show, but that they don't have photography is odd to me.
That is odd.
Because they don't consider photography one of a kind.
That was
That's
But
right, Court, because all you're doing is reprinting. No, I'm sorry.
So it's the 1970s all over again,
they allow
right?
printmaking, but they don't allow you can do printmaking, but you cannot do digital any photography or any
Well,
digital.
printmaking is finite. Well, depending on the type of printmaking. Uh, but like if you're doing like a reduction of wood, each color you add, you're taking away some of the wood. By the time you're done with your printing, there's nothing left to print. There's nothing left of your original. So that is one of a kind. But anyway,
It's their rules. I don't care.
mhm.
You
But
know,
yeah,
you can do
but with
this thing anyway.
You
some
know,
of these shows, some of these other shows that we're talking about, with jewelry, and I look and it's more normal jewelry. And so sometimes it's not good to be the odd person out. And I guess the only thing to do for me is to actually visit the show and see, um, because I hate to early on, I remember I did a show, this is in Massachusetts, and all I got was a sunburn.
Yeah.
There's
So,
You know,
a
it's funny.
there's a big
so
sorry.
Allison, you consider your jewelry not normal jewelry?
Well, I consider it studio jewelry, you might call it, or art jewelry. But it just like a painting or any other work of art, ceramics, it has my voice and it's identifiable that I made it. So,
I think you could apply a sculpture.
well, I think that I would be, poo-pooed for that.
Yeah. Having said that, I look at it, I think, with a more educated eye. So that's why I would call it that.
Hmm.
You guys can
Well, I mean,
trash me all you want, but that's what I see.
yeah, I just think that I can't imagine that shows would be favorable. But given jewelry, there's so many jewelers out there. Um, I it I get what you're saying, but I feel like it might be seen as dishonest.
Yeah, that's, I'm laughing because I think that's kind of ridiculous. And I don't mean that as a put down to you, but
Yeah, no, I don't take it
how
that
they
way.
think, how they think. And
But
in terms of
but
the
there's so much.
70s,
But there's so much. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
well, no, you can finish the thought because I want to talk about the photography of the 70s.
Okay. Yeah. Well, because I remember in I grew up outside New York City, and galleries in New York and Soho, they had photography, and it was definitely, shown as an art form.
Of course.
Um, and so, you know,
Stiglitz,
yeah.
Stiglitz Gallery, you know.
Oh, right, right, right.
Um,
Um,
there were great,
so
there were great photographers in the 70s. Why
there's
can't I even think of
great.
it? I always lose his name. The guy in the Everglades.
Carl, Butcher, Clyde.
Yeah, Clyde Butcher. He was next to me at a show and
Mhm.
a couple shows, and Bill Lemke, who's a great black and white photographer, and Jill and Bill Bedford, although they're not together anymore. And if I think about it, and Emerson. There's a whole bunch of them that were there that I thought were really great. So
Oh, what I was going to add about Philadelphia, when I had my t-shirt business, I would go out to Philadelphia to the Market Square wholesale show. And so at the wholesale show, it was stores buying from us to resell at their shops. Everything was wholesale. But the first time I went, I took my shirts, my mugs, everything that I normally did, my cards, and I hardly sold anything. And at a wholesale market, that's a big ouch because they're
Right.
expensive. But what I
Yeah.
noticed was everybody was buying these big folk art prints, and a lot of the booths were dedicated exclusively to Eastern folk art traditions. We're talking
Oh.
mustard, dark greens, blacks, all
Mhm.
furnishings were black. It looked very colonial. So
Uh-huh.
the next year I got another booth, but I called it From the Hand of Hannah, and that was my grandma's name. And I did all folk art drawings. I just did prints. I didn't do any t-shirts. I guess I did do a small line of organic cotton off-white t-shirts, but the rest of it was 1800 style prints. And I even dated them all in the 1800s. And we had a fantastic show. Like it was the same neighborhood, the same stores, the same person selling it. All I changed was what I took. And so what I noticed was they said there's a lot of families out on the East Coast that they're proud of their art collection through the years, but not everybody can afford the high end. Not everybody's at Sotheby's or auction houses. So that type of hand done, you know, prints or original art is just in high demand. So I just wondered if Rittenhouse, being there 99 years, they maybe kind of are just following that trend, that there's a big trend for collectible wall art that they hand down. I don't
But
know.
they
That's just a
also
thought.
there is a Rittenhouse show that also has crafts in it. So they're just two different.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was the Pennsylvania Guild, and then what's her name
Yeah.
took it over.
But now it's not Rittenhouse.
Well, it is
Oh, okay.
twice a year, but it's a craft show.
Hmm.
I did the art fair, the art part. They asked me to do it.
With ceramic,
Yeah, with my pieces.
ceramic art. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
But mostly because that's how I look at it. You know,
Right.
they can do whatever they want, but Rittenhouse Square had it's funny because it rained both days that I of the show, so I didn't get a fair shot as hardly anybody came out. But the people that came out were probably the most knowledgeable people of any art fair that I've ever done.
Mm.
They knew,
Well, that's
and I
great.
like that. That was a pleasure.
Yeah.
They're
I have to say,
discriminating, and that's kind of the point. I think Philadelphia area, they're discriminating. Hmm.
Well,
I have to
Unfortunately,
say here,
Artists.
I have to say here, the people I see, it's different every week, and
yeah.
they're they're interested. They're relatively, some are really knowledgeable, but like even if they're not knowledgeable, they're very open, and it's like such a good crowd. Nobody's there complaining. Everybody's smiling, and so they're here to absorb art, and so that works nicely. Um, and I mean, look, hopefully a lot of art fairs, people are happy to go to them, and they're there to enjoy themselves and buy art in the first place, right? But um, I don't know.
You bring up a really good point because when they mentioned Denver earlier, um, I did the Smash on the Square up there a couple years
Oh
ago,
yeah.
which is still on that Fillmore Avenue where Cherry Creek is, but it's a different
Uh-huh.
weekend.
Right.
And I did really well, sold my biggest
You
pieces.
did. You did.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Because
And
I've
but
heard other
Smash is a
people.
lot. Well, Smash is Smash. Like it's not as dense of a crowd, but if you are really diligent about talking to everybody, they like the fact that you're kind of catering to them. Whereas
Mhm.
Cherry Creek, it's like everybody's pouring through and pushing each other. So I was happy with it, but I would obviously do Cherry Creek if I got in it. But I met a couple Colorado artists, is my point. And
Mhm.
so I've been corresponding with them because we're looking at doing more shows outside of Texas and Oklahoma and New Mexico when my husband retires. And they said the one thing that's unique about the mountain town shows, like the ones in the summer that are in the resort
Mhm.
towns, you just don't have the tourism as much in the summer as you do
Oh.
in the fall and the winter.
Huh.
So, but they said the good thing about that is people are buying for their own place, and
Mhm.
a lot of like Texans will go up to Colorado and have a summer place up there because it's just so
Right.
ungodly hot down here in the summer.
Yeah.
And so they will buy bigger things than if they were just on vacation and having to take it on a plane or something.
Well, but that's why you
So,
have to be able to ship.
right. But I know your stuff's all little, so that probably doesn't make a difference. But she was really positive about it. She had done 10 shows in about 14 weeks in the
Mhm.
Colorado area,
Oh, geez.
just starting from Colorado. She was in Denver and branching out.
Mhm.
And the circuit, of course, was fantastic right after COVID, but it's still solid right now. I just spoke to her last week.
Uh-huh. I mean, I guess it
So,
depends on what you have. It depends on, who shows up. I mean, they're, just like anything else. Like
right.
the show I'm doing in South Carolina, I've never done before, but I looked on the website at the artists who've done it in the past, and there's a lot of people I know, and then, everybody says, oh, there's good crowds. I mean, there's a show I do that in Sun Valley, and it's a very, very slow, really, really, really slow show, but it's been good for, I've done it like 15 times and it's been good for me. So I always hesitate when people ask me about it. Um, because it's a good show for me, but it's not for everyone.
For
And
everybody. Hmm.
yeah, and slow shows could be good for me. Uh, but it just depends upon the crowd um and that's the thing. But I've done really, like the top tier shows that are not good for me. Even though they're good shows, they do
Yeah.
everything right, people show up. So, I mean, I guess in the end, at some point one has to take a risk, I guess.
Hey, I was next to
Absolutely.
somebody at Fort Worth and they zeroed.
Oh,
Wow.
It
that's
is
heartbreaking.
possible. So
Yeah.
the person on my right, well, facing me, the person on my left probably did 50,000 and the person on my right did zero.
What did
I
they
never,
have? What did they have?
Um,
that show's not good for
let's
everyone. I
see.
mean, I have to tell you, I've done
Mm-mm.
it several times, and I would say to anyone, definitely try it. But for me, it didn't pan out given how many days it is, and it's I think what I sell, it's more intimate somehow, and
Yeah,
it's just it's the most crowded show I've ever done.
Yeah.
And it works for a lot of people, but
I like it.
not everything works for everyone,
I
right? I
like
mean,
it like that.
what?
Crowded. Here's the thing. It's just by numbers. You get a certain amount of people that'll buy your work. So the more it's a percentage. So the more people that are there, the greater chance of you having that percentage. I mean,
I
there's more
get that,
people in that percentage.
except when it doesn't work.
Yeah. And
So
um,
I'd say that's mostly true, but you
you,
know,
you asked me about Cherry Creek, the person next to me at Cherry Creek. It was mostly painting. It was mixed media, but I think the primary thing was painting. But it was kind of political in the sense that, they were making a point, and I found it to
mhm.
be really negative. And I don't think that works at an art fair. I don't think people
Well, I
want to be
remember
negative.
at Fort Worth, I was next to a photographer, and he did moody black and white,
Yeah,
a lot of cemeteries in Berlin, and he was selling hand over fist.
really. That's
So
weird.
you just never know,
That's true.
right? It's just got
Yep.
to be the right people. I mean, that's why like a show that everybody says, oh, it's such a slow show, but I make only a few sales, but they're really high end, and it's a great show for me. And
That's
so that's how
Yeah.
that can happen.
Yeah. See, I
Rita's
never listen to
husband.
that.
What's
I
his
never
name?
listen to what people say, and I also don't make suggestions because even from one year to the next, it could be really great, and the next year it's not good at all. It depends on who shows up. So
Yeah, that
Hmm.
was
I'm not gonna tell
Gary's
somebody to do something and have them, do zero. So
Gary Seidel.
Yes, that's exactly right.
is
Yeah,
that who it was?
yeah.
Wait a minute. Really? I
Yeah.
guess I never looked at his work that
Oh, his
closely.
work is phenomenal.
Oh,
And
I know. I thought they were
he was a real
architectural.
piss up.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I like him a lot. We're good. We're buddies. But I don't. That's funny because I guess I never noticed the
Subject
dreariness
matter.
Yeah, they weren't dreary, they were moody.
or moody. Same thing.
We
A little bit.
we
Well,
we bought our first set of pro panels from Gary. We
small world.
drove. Where the hell did we drive? I think he's in Tennessee. We drove to Tennessee,
Florida
rented
is, I
a
think he's
U-Haul,
in Florida, no?
No,
Now
Tennessee.
they moved.
Oh.
They
Okay.
retired.
and
Okay.
what's his wife's name? She's a sweetheart
Rita.
too. Rita.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. We had lunch with them. I mean, just the sweetest people. And it's funny because Gary and I, we were talking about the Twin Towers, and he had a couple of photographs of the Twin Towers, and I told him that, and unfortunately, it was thrown away by my ex-girlfriend. Thank you, Brenda. Um, I had a black and white. I I got a Canon A1 for my um, for my it was my 22nd birthday, which is 1981, and no, 1983. And I went down to the Trade Center laid down on the ground in between the towers, and I took about a dozen black and white photos with my 24 millimeter lens. It was beautiful. I had a little polarizer and a red filter on there, and that was a killer photo. But those were the good old days. And Fidel and I, we were talking. Gary and I, we were talking about that, and he's got several photos of the Twin Towers. Just a
Mhm.
sweetheart of a just sweet people.
I have an A1.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I love that thing.
I probably haven't taken it out of the case in
Yeah,
25 years, but I
I
have
t-
one.
that's fantastic. You know, Barry, I still have mine, and I remember um, I was so excited when I bought my Vivitar Series 1 70 to 210 f2.8 telephoto lens. Man, I was so excited about that sucker. Man, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Sometimes I wonder why I ended up doing pottery instead of photography.
Right. There are
Well,
too
why
many potters,
indeed?
but not enough photographers.
Well, it's funny. In those days, there were more potters than anybody, and now there's more photographers, you know, and jewelers.
Oh, there's so many jewelers.
Ah,
But pottery, I mean, it's hard to schlep, but the same with
It is.
photography.
But photographers can afford to hire somebody to schlep for them. I have to do it all myself. I got to be
So
careful
so
because
you're saying Oscar has hires somebody to schlep his stuff for him?
no, well, what I'm doing
Barry,
is
your eyes are brown. You're so full of it.
I know. Listen, I'm trying to behave myself, but I'm making a joke because I can't help it. But you're right. You're right, Court. Don't take it personally. I was just making jokes.
Oh, especially Court, what you have to schlep now. Those are
Yeah,
huge.
right.
How's it going with figuring out the logistics of mounting them?
Oh, I have all that figured out. I'm now just threw a whole bunch of new stuff into the to figure out, and
Of course.
I have 5 days to get it done.
Oh, oh, Oklahoma
What
City, right?
Yep. So
Hmm.
for whatever
It's
reason, when I try and run the software I need to run to upscale this print so I can print it, Zoom doesn't like it for some reason. I don't know if it's tying up the
Zoom.
computer
Zoom is
or
so buggy. You, the time before when I taught, I couldn't Zoom on Zoom I use my iPhone on my desk, like on a gimbal. And, usually you could zoom in so you can get really close, and you couldn't zoom in on Zoom. And it was just this bug, but we had to wait until they cleared it. But what a pain in the neck. So
Does that mean
anyway,
does that mean you're doomed with Zoom?
no, it means there's always a lot of bugs, and I guess it takes some time to figure it out, or I don't know, but
yeah, I have my old MacBook Pro, which Apple now considers legacy,
year is
uh,
it?
barely runs this program, and it'll take probably 2.5 to 3 hours to get this upscaled so I can start printing on it, which
oh
I got to get
geez.
printed tonight.
What year is your MacBook Pro? Fort?
It's like 2015.
Yeah. Okay. I got one of those too.
Planned obsolescence is a huge inconvenience.
Oh,
So my Adobe Creative Suite, I had to download an older version of one of the programs, and I don't update anything anymore, any of the Adobe programs because they won't run.
Hmm.
Do you pay a monthly subscription or you have an older version of
I pay a
Photoshop?
monthly subscription. I mean, if I had an older version, it would be 20 years old. and I use Photoshop and Lightroom all the time.
Uh-huh.
So I
You
will
used
see everybody later. Oscar, Allison, whoever wants to join us tonight, I may see you later
I
this evening.
I am probably not going to see you. Have to go to a community meeting later.
What
All
time,
right.
Court?
What's that?
What time? Is that your board meeting?
No, I do. It's the other Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
We do 6:30 other Tuesday.
Ah,
Hey, Court,
Six
have a
6:30
good
Central,
show
right?
at Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
I will. Thanks.
Hey, Corey, I was sleeping when you call. I'll call you later when this is over.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
have a good one, Court.
So, I mixed these up. I didn't have a electrocardiogram. I had something that's similar. No, it's not similar to that. It's similar to a stress test. There's two things you can get to for your heart, and I passed. I didn't.
Good.
I don't
Congratulations.
have to. My heart's okay. I have a slight enlargement on the upper left whatever it's called, and but he said, I'm okay. So,
Well, that's
I
a
thought,
relief.
Oh,
yeah,
That's good news.
because otherwise I think they would be taking me. I wouldn't be here. I'd be getting operated on. So, but I had it on. I had the test on Friday. They take pictures of your heart, whatever that is, and it's kind of cool. And you get to watch it happen, and you get to hear your heartbeat like a sucking sound, and I figured I was all right because she didn't panic. And say, "Oh, because I'm at the hospital." She didn't say, "We're putting you in a room and you're going to be operated on tomorrow." So I heard the results today. So
Well,
I
congratulations.
feel good about that. Thank you. Although
oh.
I'm still tired. I would, when am I going to get my energy back? It's that kind of thing.
Hmm.
I also have no
So,
motivation to make work, and I need to start right away.
Well, that would be something to talk to a primary about the fatigue.
Yeah, I'm going through that.
Um, you could have like B vitamins test for that if you're absorbing Bs.
There's all kinds of things that
But
that sort of would
that's
cause
a
that.
yeah.
But my blood work's really good too. there's nothing that they tested that actually found anything. So
That's good news.
yeah,
That's
considering
very good news.
I'm really old.
The only problem is that some tests are not part of the routine exam. They have to special order them, like the
Right.
B12.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
The iron, I think, too, is special test most places.
Hmm.
I even like my doctor. You
You
know,
should like your doctor.
well, I know. It's not a given. And he was really good. He explained everything that I asked him in detail, and it was really excellent.
That's good news, Barry.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe I need to exercise more.
Exercise is always helpful, even if you walk.
15
That's
minutes.
right.
It's overrated.
No, it really if you exercise, even if you don't feel like it, you'll feel better afterwards.
You know, at 60, what am I? What am I this year? 65 this year. Thank God I'm a mailman because I'd be a lazy slug if I wasn't out
That's right.
delivering mail. And
That's true.
it really is. I told my
Although
wife, I'm
not
like,
not only that, you probably well, earlier on had to remember a lot of numbers.
Oh
And
yeah,
and
I
that's
still do.
really good. That's really good for your brain, all those numbers.
Oh, and the last name of the customers that help.
Ah.
You can get a golden doodle. Mine makes me walk every day. And it's not too hard to find sitters for when you leave town for an art show because everybody wants to babysitter. Nobody wants to own one because they're so high maintenance, but they all want to have one for the weekend.
It's like the dogs on my route. They're all my dogs, and I don't have to worry about feeding them or taking care of them.
Right? Because they love on you.
Yep.
That's good if you're the mailman. I mean, there's some notorious stories about that.
Well, it's funny because everyone asks me, my customers that is, do you have treats for the dogs? I go, I don't give treats to the dogs because the people who do my route when I'm on vacation or my day off, I don't want the dog running up to them expecting a treat and scaring the hell out of them.
Right.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, so Barry, I guess you're back home, aren't you?
I've been here for a while.
Okay.
So, Oscar, you have quite the list of shows,
For what?
art
For,
shows. I got dizzy looking at your list.
no,
What's next? You were in Atlanta, so
I'm doing for
Yeah, you
Brid
just did dogwood. Yeah.
I'm doing for Bridges now. And
which is
just
where?
in Chattanooga.
Ah,
We didn't get in that show either.
So, and from here, I'm going home, and I'll be home for 2 weeks, and then I start the Midwest run.
ah.
Where are you going in the
Midwest.
Midwest? Where are you going in the Midwest, Oscar?
It's a bunch of B, C shows, nothing special to be honest with you. Uh, I just the only I didn't I applied to the shows that I want to do. If I didn't get in, I didn't get in. When I'm in the Midwest, my mentality changed how I do things.
Like Chicago area mainly, or
No,
like,
Chicago is a bad market for me.
okay.
But basically, I start with Art Birmingham, then got Bo Repo. Uh,
Not Birmingham, Alabama, though.
no, Michigan.
Michigan, right? Yeah.
I've done Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
Then I
You
got
done?
what is it? Morning Glory. No, St. Charles, then Morning Glory, 57, Wall Street. I'm waitlisted for
Oh
Madison,
my God.
Ann Arbor. I got Boston Mills, June.
Too much.
You're making me tired just
I
listening.
know. Me
Right,
too.
right.
Me too.
Well,
Wow.
I'm going to tell you how the shows have been going with photographers right now. It's not
Hmm.
you have to do volumes because most of the photographers are not doing money. So
Hmm.
the painters say high-end sculptures are making money. Everybody else
Interesting.
is
Hey,
struggling big time.
that might dry up also.
I think so too, but they being some people are being a little bit arrogant about it, so I just keeping my mouth shut.
Well, I mean, you take it when you get it, right?
Yeah, I have two really good shows. I cannot complain, but I'm so behind the eight ball that I needed another monster show to balance myself out. So I'm praying to God that something happened this weekend.
Yeah. So Oscar, I almost did Birmingham. Um uh what happened was Kristen was going to talk to Nicole, and I said, "Oh, maybe I want to do Birmingham," but I didn't want to call Nicole and try and finagle my way into a space. So Kristen said, "I'll do it for you." But then I came to my senses and I decided not to do it.
The show is full anyhow, Barry.
It's not though. I can tell you right now, it's not.
It's full. Trust me. It's
What'd
totally
you say, Oscar?
that show is full and the wait list. They only have right now. They're holding my space. That's the only space that's open right now. Everything is full and paid. And So we see. But I just tell you what's going on. But that show is full. They will put you in. They will do you a favor. That's all. And for any other show, I would say the shows that are totally packing full are Birmingham, Brighton, and Ann Arbor. Everything else is up in the air.
I knew about Brighton and well, I know in Ann Arbor I just have my same space every year.
But everything else, the other shows are, you know, but Brighton and Birmingham, the May show, those are, and I was those are the three shows that the guilds sold out all the time. And they don't even call people from the wait list sometimes. So,
Wow.
Mm.
Well, we're on the wait list for the Guild show still.
so
I hadn't heard anything.
you know,
When is that show? Is that in July?
July
Birmingham is the
14th, 13th, or
Ah,
like 14th,
birthday
15th, and
weekend.
16th of July.
so like what, when do you think, so if the show's in July, when do you think the wait list, like the last, I mean,
Ann
of course
Arbor,
there's what?
Ann Arbor, I'm going to tell you if the only person that can be cool in the month of July for the Ann Arbor show, it has to be somebody local.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to find an hotel,
Right.
Oh, okay.
you
Because
know.
yeah, I'm on the wait
Yeah, you
list
can.
for
I booked a
for
hotel.
well, there you go.
Right? I've always
So
gotten hotels at the last minute there. I guess
Well,
you got to know
so
where to go.
yeah, but that's why we pay a premium.
No.
no, but if
Here,
you booked a, Roy said he
hey,
booked a hotel.
Oscar,
So
we're not paying a premium.
Yes, we paying a premium. I can get, I
It's the
trust.
same price now as it isn't going to be is in July.
I doubt that, but
Yeah,
so
I
since
lived there. I
Roy
grew up there. I
Roy
know,
since you booked a hotel, would you, I mean, did you contact the show saying, that you'd like to do it up until this time, X time?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Because
you know,
that does make a difference that you have a
hey,
place.
also
Allison,
the
I
show
want to hear
lost 50 spaces because of the construction site that they're doing.
I want to hear what you said about you're on the wait list for Ann Arbor.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, Cherry Creek.
Oh, Cherry Creek.
Yeah, and it's only 5.5 hour drive.
Yeah. Hey,
But I have a place booked, but eventually I'll have to cancel it.
apparently I didn't get called off the wait list for Fort Worth because I think it was last weekend, or is it this weekend?
It's this weekend.
Yeah, well, and it's too late to call me now. So,
What I've done in the past is I did it with St. Louis once. I said I could do the show up until this date, X
yeah,
date, because that's,
yeah.
yeah. And I think that helps them, if they want to fill a spot,
If,
because I understand a lot of people, they either might book other shows or they can't. So, um,
well, one of the tricks, if you, because there's always going to be cancellations at the last minute. So if you're willing to like take a real risk, I've driven to a show and made them let them know that I was there.
yeah, I don't know.
I
I don't know
know.
that I would.
I know, because then they let you in at the last minute. You got to rush to set up. I don't really like doing that. It really
Mhm.
would depend on the show. I don't
Right.
really recommend it, but if somebody's desperate and wants to do a show,
I had to cancel a show once and they never filled my spot. And I'm trying to think of how far I had it. It was at least a month ahead of time.
yeah, I have read about shows that do that, and they say that if there's a cancellation, we don't fill the spaces. So I think that's kind of a bad thing because it's better to have somebody in the space than to have it open.
Hmm.
It doesn't look good for the show to have an open space.
Right. Well, I'm sure they make it into like a sitting area. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. What they should
who
do,
knows?
well, actually, what happens is the two people on either side
Spread out.
commandeer the space.
Well, I was next to somebody that didn't show up. This was St. Louis.
Yeah.
And so there you had two booths kind of together, both had corners looking out, right?
Hmm.
And so I was on my own at the end of an aisle. So people didn't even know I was there. So I asked them if I could just switch and face the other direction because my neighbors, they were cool with it. And, it was
Yeah.
this, it created like two open, corners basically. And
Yeah.
that made all the difference in the world,
If you
you know.
remember, I did that for Belleville that year that you were there. Do you remember that?
I didn't do Belleville. So it has to
I don't mean Bell.
be
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I
lakefront,
mean
lakefront.
Milwaukee Lakefront. That's what I
Yeah,
meant.
lakefront. That's
I had
right.
Belleville on
Okay.
my birthday. I turned my booth to the side. Otherwise, because I was off in the hinterland.
It was a weird spot you
It,
had there.
it was.
But
They don't have any of the spots on the grass anymore.
I know that row, it was like that I was on, it was a short row that was just kind of an extra, like people didn't even know to go down it.
Yeah, and then you
But
smelled the food. It wasn't a good. It wasn't good.
right. Well,
So anybody ever see anybody an artist die in an art show?
I didn't
let's
see him
see.
die, but I was at a show that where somebody died.
Really? I
Yeah.
mean, Eric took somebody to the emergency room.
My
Um,
neighbor died the last Atlanta show.
oh geez.
Oh my.
Well, do you know who has the biggest record on that? People dying at the show?
Where?
Cottonwood.
Really? That's funny. It's not
Cottonwood?
funny, but
But
Wow.
I had a corner spot for the rest of the show.
Trisco was
um,
the last person that died in Cottonwood.
at Old Town,
Wow.
and I forgot his name. That was two booths down from me, went home and died when they got home.
Wow.
And
Is
then
this because they're trying to make it through the heat? They think they can, but they
I don't
can't.
know. It wasn't that bad. I don't know. It was a long time ago. And
Well,
then
some people have like heart situations that they didn't know they had. There's all kinds of things that can because the show I was at was in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it was super. I was handing out electrolytes to all the
yeah,
artists. Um, and people were, getting heat stroke and all of this stuff. But anyway, but yeah, Eric took someone to the emergency room and it turned out that she had some high blood pressure that she didn't know about.
really.
Yeah. One
Yeah.
year,
I
we were
don't have
doing
that.
Miami Beach, and an artist died sleeping in his van overnight.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Really?
And the funny thing is, the show director for the following weekend got calls looking for a space.
Oy.
Oh, that reminds me, Miami Beach. I was next to Sonny Dalton, and these two guys were walking, uh, to go into to cross the street, and one guy was eating a gyro, and
Hmm.
uh, and they walked um, they were looking at each other, and the one guy stopped, and the guy with the pita walked into the street and got it was like a field goal. He got booted,
Boom. That's
and
going to leave
and
a mark.
and they came and took him away. But the PETA
Oh,
was in the street, so it was kind of an eerie thing that you would see the thing that he was eating that got left behind.
I
right,
still
right.
have one of Sonny's sculptures.
Cool.
Where was that Miami show at? Miami Beach show.
I don't know, Miami Beach.
Oh, okay. How long ago was that?
100 years?
Okay.
No, I can't tell you. I can't tell you how long ago it was. I mean, it was so long ago. I don't.
Yeah.
I can
Okay.
tell you this. There are things I remember about it. Like, um, I was one of the first people to get a heavy duty tent. Before that, everybody was using pop-ups, easy ups, and I bought they made a craft hut, which they made in Fort Myers, and I actually picked it up on the way to the show. And and the weather was really bad, and I was in a hotel. You could see the booths from the hotel.
Yeah,
And
back then you could afford the hotels.
that's right. That's really true.
Hmm.
And
That's
And all
where
these
all the
tents were
Jewish
down.
people retired to back then.
That's right. All the tents were down except for mine. You could see my tent sitting up, you know.
I lived in Miami Beach from 74 to 78. I went to
It might have
Beach
been in
Rock.
front of Eden Rock.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, oh, so it's over by there, by the Fontainebleau and Eden
By the
Rock.
Fontainebleau.
Fontainebleau.
We used to jump off of the 10-meter platform at Fontainebleau after hours. We'd ride our bikes down Collins Avenue,
That
pull up to the
explains it.
Fontainebleau. Oh, the Tiki Hut always had one of those little soda spray
The
things where you just
Tiki Hut, that's right.
the Tiki Hut
Forgot about that. The Tiki
and
Hut.
the oh hell yeah. And then if you go downstairs, you can ice skate and you can see the pool through the window. We were hellions back then.
I just want to wake up one day, Roy, and go back to Florida in the 60s because my grandparents lived there. And my parents were both school teachers. So we would go down there for Christmas break. And I just loved Florida. I loved stopping and getting pineapple juice, at some of the farms. And they lived kind of the Gulf
Miami Beach,
side. And
Miami
no, they
Beach in
lived
the
on the Gulf
70s was,
side. Yeah.
yeah, it was magical.
Yeah,
Just like
I'm guessing.
Manhattan was
Yeah.
magical back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it changed a little.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah, my son lived in Miami just after COVID. So it was probably like 2022, 23. So I went to Miami 2, 3 times and I went down to the big art show in December, which I just loved. Like there were so many art shows in Miami in December now. It's not outdoors, it was like um, the big ones, the big gallery shows.
Like Art Basel.
Yep, that was the main one was Basel, but they had like the Red Dot, they had the Untitled Art Fair. They had so many of them. You could just walk for miles and miles and miles. We did like 5 shows and we were so tired. But it
Those
was
are like
it was
those
really
shows are
cool.
like those are like $20,000 to do those shows.
Right. And most of them are galleries that are
Yeah.
showing artists or they're artist consortium that go together and present themselves as a gallery, like
Hmm.
an online gallery or something. But it was super inspirational. And it was really fun talking to some of the people because I was looking at pottery because I still do that. But I was, just looking for experimental potters and experimental pottery projects and talked to a couple galleries to see what was selling. And that was really fun.
Listen, it's more $20,000 the starting point. They go all the way to 80,000.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And by
But
the
I
way,
mean, it's all about really hobnobbing. Like there was art there that was priced at 15, 20,000 that I've seen similar pieces at fairs for 3 to 5,000. Like if you do an outdoor show, you'll see an artist that's just as talented. They just didn't go that route to do the galleries. But it's not the norm, but I'm saying there are some very good artists out at the outdoor fairs. You just have to hit the right fair. Are any of you guys in galleries as well as outdoor shows?
I come and go with galleries. I've got one gallery in outside of Cleveland, and I had one here, but I took my work out because I sell my work best, and I've always had a, showroom in my studio. So, people come and visit me, and that's
Mm-hmm.
in the end really how it works best for me. And
Yep.
given material prices, it's also nobody's buying my work. It's consignment.
Right. It's
So,
sitting there.
it's like all
Yeah.
this money sitting there. And but
and
the one in Cleveland, I've worked with her before, and I like her, and she opened a new space, so I want to see. Hopefully, it'll go well. I mean, it is great to just get a check in the mail.
we're in Cleveland.
Rocky, so outside
Oh,
of Cleveland,
Rocky River,
Rocky River,
Rocky
yeah.
River.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, we had a gallery in Cleveland. There was a we We had a gallery in Cleveland for 10 years.
Uh-huh.
I know Cleveland pretty well.
Oh. So when she was in Cleveland, it was in a downtown area and sort of like in Paris they have these arcades with glass ceilings. It was like that.
Tower City, I think it's called.
And it was all Cleveland businesses.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it still exists, actually.
Well, it
Tower
was just
City.
before COVID it existed. So,
Yeah. Oh,
um,
I'm talking about before 2000, the year 2000.
right. But
Actually, the
she
1990s.
closed during COVID though, so I know it existed then. Um, and
There,
it was pardon?
there was the Sylvia Allman Gallery.
Hey, Allison, I got a question for you.
Hmm.
When you see my website, do you think I should change the background color from white to a different color by section, or just keep
I,
everything white?
I mean, I like white because it's just clean.
Me too. I would not suggest doing different walls of different colors. That's confusing. You want to make it as simple as possible.
No, it's more about dividing the section so people go know they're going to a different section.
Right. I think
Confusing.
that I don't
And
know if people have
homepage.
that much awareness anyway. Like I
What?
think they might go to different sections by topic more
Wouldn't do it.
so.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about in the front page, and I'm talking about the different paths. It's like I got the
Right. I
like
am.
then I got the most popular image section. I was thinking change the background to a light gray, or just a word, or the one that I have a lot of text like on the installations and the and about me section, just change that background to gray and leave the rest white.
Mm,
I wouldn't
I
do
don't
it.
know. I will say one thing though, the text where it lists all your shows seems a little faint. I would like to see that. It's okay that it's a thin, like, not bold, but it looks more like a gray. I'd like to see something a little stronger, more solid looking in color.
I don't know if I can change that, to be honest with you,
Uh-huh. I
but
no, I get it. You have
so,
Squarespace, yes?
no, Shopify.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, well, it looks really nice. But yeah, I've been thinking about my website too, and I really need to have pictures on people so there's a scale.
Hmm.
And Eric's just trying something. He took a bracelet on my wrist, so he's trying to just kind of make it look kind of generic, but you just see the bracelet on a wrist. And so because to hire a photographer for model photography is, I know it's a couple $1,000s at least, so that, not going to happen right now. But I think showing scale is really important, you know, when people are buying online, and I want to increase my online sales. So, but yeah, I wouldn't deal with different colors for different sections because
Hmm.
um, I think that um, it's I mean people I think would have to know they're in another section. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know that there's such conscious awareness one way or another.
Okay.
Um,
Now, if you have different booths for each style,
Yeah, it's more like, I just like to tweak it that I got the design almost.
the tweaking you're trying to do is way above everybody's head here, that because you're trying to increase your gross.
Yeah, I know. And I'm working in I think I got the best I can do with the website right now, design wise. Now I need to work in the sales part. And the sales part, when I run the test, right now it's giving me design
Well,
8.5 out of 10, but in
well,
sales,
let me ask you a question. Allison was mentioning something about You're not, what color is the font on your website?
Uh, it's
It's
black. It's a dark. I think it's supposed to be black, but when you see it, looks like a
It
dark
looks like deep gray. I
deep
pulled it
gray.
up.
Mhm,
Yeah. See what
mhm.
I see what they're saying is like it's sort of light.
Oh,
But because I'm on my cell phone, it's probably small too,
Yeah, you
right?
need to go in and tweak that and make
here's
sure it's
another
pure
thing.
black.
Here's another thing to have on your website. I've been reading a lot about this. So um, contact information needs to be available on every page. Shipping, like ships in however many days. Um, all of that stuff that people don't have to look for it. Um,
No,
and
it's when you go to the section when you buy the product, everything's in there.
that's
So
not that's not what I mean though.
No,
So
it needs to be on the same page as the images that people want to buy.
yeah, that's what it is with all my images. It's like when the image is going to get by, it says the information in there right down there. It's uh but
so
that's
it's something. Go ahead. Sorry.
no that I had that part covered, but that's the only time you need to have that is when they're going to add the image to the
No,
cart.
no, no. Before they even buy, like there's such buying on. So there's this. People need to trust when they're buying from you that you're a real person, all of that. And I know buying
But you're gonna
photography
put
is different.
you're gonna put that in the your front page. Nobody does that in your front page.
I'm saying every single page should have like I have to go, I'm in Squarespace and I have to go to 7.1, which Thursday is when we're gonna do that. But because there's certain things I can't do. But um I'm going to make sure on every page there's a way to contact me. There's all the shipping information, and I'm going to offer free shipping. Um, and so they don't, so the part of it is just building trust that there's all their
Phone,
questions are
phone
answered.
number,
Like,
not
But
just
you go,
email address.
right,
yeah.
right. And the
Yeah,
other thing with email is I personally, I think it's better to not just have the form because not everyone wants to fill out a form. Um,
but
and so, yeah.
Alison, and every if you send the contact information, that's in every that's a default in my website. Every single
Mhm,
page has my email, my phone number, and where
mhm.
I'm located. I don't put my address in there personally
Right.
because I don't want people to
No.
be coming to my house.
Right. No, I don't put my address in either, but as
Yeah,
long as they can
but
contact you.
shipping information, the only time legally, the only place that you need to put it is in the section before they add the images to the card.
But
You
I'm not talking about legally. I'm talking about trust from the customer.
does
That's what
it,
we have
it,
to do.
if they're going to if they're going to buy the image, they have to click in the image, and when they click it, all the information is in there. Um, but you cannot put that all image is going to be shipping in the front page. That's in the front page, and the information in the bottom it says printing process. That's in there also included.
Hmm,
So it's in the footer page. Everything is in there.
yeah.
It's just that I don't make it like the main attraction.
Hmm.
I really don't like how this looks now that you brought it up.
Which the text?
Uh,
You talking about the text?
yeah, the text on the
The shows.
yeah.
Can you switch it to a bold font? 'Cause sometimes that makes it look darker.
Or just raise it one.
Oh, I don't know if I can,
Large,
to be honest with you.
enlarge it by 1 point, maybe. Oscar, I love your black and white with the woman smoking a cigarette, man. Did you take that in Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
When I was growing up in Manhattan, I'm telling you, and I lived in a mixed neighborhood, a lot of Puerto Ricans, a lot of black,
Well, where did
lot
you
of.
live in Manhattan? Where did you live in Manhattan?
I grew up on 97th and Broadway, Upper West Side.
Oh, oh, okay.
Yep, and till
It,
74, I left in 74, and then
it
I
was a
moved
very
back in 80.
different, it was a very different neighborhood back then, wasn't it?
Oh man, it was a great neighborhood. Oh, we had a block party twice a year. I lived right across the street from my Catholic school that I went to in seventh grade. But I would my so one block away, right off of Amsterdam on 97th Street was my um, uh, I went through 3 through 6th grade there. So I don't know what was that, elementary? Yeah, elementary. But I was going to tell you, Oscar, I've seen quite a few people back in the day in Manhattan that looked just like that woman. Yeah, those were magical days. When I started going to a elementary school on 83rd Street, right off of Amsterdam, and I mean, so I'm 10 years old. I flash my subway pass, get on the subway by myself, go to school, and then walk home.
Nobody would let anybody do that now. And
No,
No.
I was the same way in Detroit. I went to elementary school in Detroit, and nobody would let you do it now.
nope.
Right. I used to take the bus into New York City on my own when I was like 14.
There you go.
And yeah.
Because you lived
And it was
upstate, didn't you?
no, New Jersey.
Okay. What part?
Yeah. Um, well, not that far from Manhattan. Um, uh, probably like 20 minutes away.
Okay. I lived in
Sick.
Elizabeth when I was really small,
Ah,
and
do you
my
know, do you
my
know, do
go
you know
ahead.
Passaic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The state. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
My my uncle Ray lived and died in Jersey City, right on JFK Boulevard. Their address was JFK Boulevard.
Ah,
Yeah. It'd be nice to rewind the clock a little bit, huh?
I don't know. I never want to
Mm.
go back personally and be under my parents, guides and all that. Nah.
No, I just want the landscape to go back. I don't want to be young. I just want to go walk into my world from the 60s just to turn around and look at it from a different perspective.
It, it
Anyway,
would be it would be really cool if to have my kids grow up the way I grew up in Manhattan, because really was magical.
But it
Anywho,
was.
it really was. Oh my
mhm.
God. I could get on my bike and go to Central Park. I was gone all day, all day. My dad my dad would give me like $3 and I could eat a 35-cent hot dog, a $25 pretzel, and Mr. Softy was cruising around. They got a Mr. Softy now in Charleston.
Hmm.
But it's
So
probably $7 or something.
Oh, right.
exactly.
Right.
It is $7. It is $7.
All
Yep.
right. Anyway, I'm
Larry,
getting
I think if I can, I'd like to give you a call later. I want to ask you about the Bruce.
it's been 25 years or more.
Oh, well, then you don't know nothing.
Did you say the Bruce meaning Bruce Springsteen?
No, the
No,
Bruce,
Bruce
Oh,
Museum.
the Bruce
oh,
Museum.
yeah. Okay, yeah. I get that.
We're applying for that one this year,
The
and
Hmm.
last time I did it was in the mid 90s.
oh my gosh, okay,
And is that in Connecticut?
it
Yeah,
is, yeah,
Greenwich.
Yeah.
and it's 20 minutes away from my brother's house in Stamford,
Oh, well, there you go.
so I got free housing.
Yeah.
I've heard that
Hmm.
it was a good abstract show, but we always got a couple of abstract landscapes and stuff like that. So try to hedge our bets when we go up there.
Yeah, when somebody says it's a good show, I always ask them what they do, because if it's super traditional, then I probably won't do well there, because everything I
Right.
do is more abstract. And so you have to,
Exactly. Yep. And
look at the neighborhood.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing about like art fair review. They'll come in on art fair review. Oh, this was a great show for me. Well, what's your medium?
No, they
And what's
never
your price?
say.
And what's your price point also? Right?
Yeah.
Price point could all of these things, and that's why it's good to get information from people, but also looking at the website and seeing past exhibitors, that helps.
Yep.
So
Well, and sometimes I'll click on somebody's profile hoping they'll have a piece of their art, in the header, but some of them don't have anything. It's their grandkids or something,
It's
So
so
right,
strange.
it's
Yeah.
true.
Or their dog.
I mean, I've actually
Mhm.
emailed artists and spoken with them on the phone, about a
Right.
show. Is it
Yep.
worth going this distance? And so,
Right.
which is really
Yeah.
nice. I feel like I've gotten some good advice. Certain shows, if they're local, it's worth the risk, and if they're really far away, because you have all these expenses, there's just so much more on the line, and so of course, nothing is fail safe, but I mean, there's a lot of shows out there, and they might
Yep.
be fine for people nearby, but not necessarily traveling.
I agree.
Yeah, so
It's all a crapshoot. It really
it
is.
is. Yeah.
And that's something that we learned when that first year we did what's the Fort Lauderdale show? Los Alamos. Yeah, we went down to Los Alamos, didn't sell it. I think the first year we did 6 shows and had 6 zeros. We did nothing. But there were some sweet people who taught us a lot.
All right. Hey, I gotta
Larry,
go
thank you.
see Elvis, and there's a thunderstorm here.
All right. Everybody have a
All right.
great week.
Bye.
For you guys.
Thanks, Larry.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.